Hello and welcome to Simple Session 25, here live from Tallinn, Estonia. And we're going to kick off our live with Sister Session. So happy to welcome 13 of the best female riders in Tallinn. And we're finally back in the big arena. And it's International Women's Day. I think all the stars are aligned for having pretty much the best show you can possibly imagine. And my name is Tuuli Evstigneyev, and I'm not alone here. I'm with someone who doesn't need any introduction in the BMX world. Hi, Daryl now.
Tuuli, it's such an honor to be here with you. I'm not going to say just with you, because to all of our BMX fans around the world, we know Simple Session for the last 25 years has been one of the biggest and best events in all of action sports. Skateboard, BMX, lifestyle, party, arts, everything. And today we're going to have one heck of an event with our sister session of BMX riders.
And I mean, I've been following the girls practice, and I think the level is just absolutely incredible. And International Women's Day, I mean, stars are truly aligned. What do you think, Daryl?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable to see in real-time progression over the last decade how women's BMX has progressed. Simple Session was one of the first events to actually cater to the female class. Back in 2013 was the first time we did the Sister Session event, and we've seen since then forward being pushed into other events around the world. Just recently into X Games, we've actually been involved in the Olympics in Paris and Tokyo, and now the stage is set to see the best women riders in the world here in Tallinn, Estonia.
And I'm also really curious to see how they're going to perform on the course, because, you know, some of the girls are better in the street, some of the girls are better in park, and this course really combines everything, because, I mean, Nate Wessel, you know, it was Drew Bezanson who once said that Nate always hides like different lines in this course. So I'm really, really excited to see how the girls are going to unlock them.
Yes, this Nate Wessel design course that we're seeing a bird's eye shot of, he's our ramp builder for the last 19 years. We're back here in Unibet Arena, and he designed this masterpiece where you can see there's some street elements for all of our new fans to BMX. Those are things you typically find in an urban area, like a handrail or a ledge. You can see that on the right side of your screen. Or in the center and left side of the screen, we have big park elements. And those would you'd find a transition that will give a rider the ability to boost up in the air and do tricks before landing back down. Now, the thing that separates this course, take a look at the different elevation heights. It's not just on one flat plane, but we do have the elevated catwalk section. We've got those street components, but the main story about this park is that it is massive.
And you know what? Simple Session finals are this weekend and qualies, but the athletes have been in town for a couple of days already, and we've been having fun in Tallinn. So let's check out what we have been up to. Simple Session, and hundreds of athletes have come here throughout the years, and I think we know them pretty well by now. But let's see how well they know Simple Session. We've set up a little quiz for them, so let's see how they do. What year was the first year for people category for Simple Session? Was it 2010 or 2012?
2012.
Really?
I was there. I remember.
Okay, who has won the most gold medals at BMX male category at Simple Session? It's a tie. Is it Garrett Reynolds and Drew Bezanson, or Ryan Nyquist and Daniel Tess? Go!
And Drew Bezanson.
Yes, there you go. Who was the last female to win Simple Session? Was it Bethany Hedrick or Angie Marino? Go!
It was Bethany!
What year did Simple Session host its first event? Was it 2000 or was it 2002? Go!
2000!
Yay! I mean, the quiz was so much fun. The girls were really, really competitive, so you can really see that they are not competitive just on the bikes, but in every other area in their life. So well done. They knew Simple Session really well. They got all the answers. But hey, Daryl, we already covered bits and pieces of the course. We spoke about Nate Wessel, and Nate's been doing this course for 19 years in a row. That's crazy because simple session is 25. So let's talk more about the obstacles. Like, what can we see in the course? Like, what do you think are going to be the spots to look at?
Well, as far as the course goes, it's actually going to be up to the gentlemen that we see on the screen. Those are our judges right there, and they're going to have to see a way a rider takes approach. But you see closest to us is Dave Cleworth from Great Britain. And then on the far end of the screen, we have Bart de Jong. And then we see Marcus Wilke from Germany. And last but certainly not least, rocking the flannel right there is the street legend himself, Van Homan. Those four judges are riders, they're industry icons, and they know exactly what it takes on this course to get on top of that podium. This course is extremely large, like we talked about, those big transitions. There's that box jump that could throw a rider in the air and those street elements.
And we have 13 of the best girls from all over the world, and you can see them listed here. Let's start with Kim from Germany. We have Sasha Pardoe, she's quite young. We have Liis Lokk, Estonia. Well, I don't think we've ever had Estonian girls in the finals, so this is pretty exciting. We have Macarena, Linda Grabner. Linda is really good at street, so let's see how Linda is going to ride this course. Teresa, Angie. Angie's been coming here since 2012. Angie is a total veteran here. We're super excited to have her back. Perris. Perris is one of the top girls in the world. We have Alirah Norris, who's one of the youngest girls in the course. She rides for Monster. She's the first female to be in the Monster Army. That's pretty impressive. Lara Lessmann doesn't need any introduction. She's also been coming to Simple Session for years. Nikita, Olympian, amazing athlete. Miharu, it's just, the list goes on.
Yeah, those are the cream of the crop, the best of our women riders. The way it's going to work, they're going to have 2 60-second runs on the course, and it's going to be a best run count format. So again, 2 times on the course, 60 seconds, and at best run count. You're going to hear us talk about that a lot because it's going to be up to the rider to maximize their time on this course. So we're getting ready to drop our first rider in, and here we go. The 60 seconds have started.
So Kim is from Germany, and Kim is no stranger to the park scene. She's been shredding since a very, very early age. So let's see how she's going to do today.
Beautiful 360 can-can. That's when the rider puts their foot right over that top tube in the 360 with the big rotation. Now that Doritos box jump is massive out there. There you can see a different variation of the can-can, this time stepping over and taking a handoff. She's got 32 seconds to work, pumps over the bubble, and this is where we're really getting an opportunity to see a rider put their wheels on the course, and you can see how many unique features are here, like that Red Bull Island.
And Kim is known for aggressive and yet fluent riding style, and I know she's an inspiration for so many young girls out there.
Yeah, trying to work it out. Tire grab over that spine, 8 seconds to go. These are very important moments for a rider. The judges want to see, do you have the endurance to maximize the time? And can you maybe get something in before the buzzer? So Kim right there putting her first run down. We're going to give the judges some time to get together a score, and we're going to potentially see some highlights as well. So let's take a look over the box jump. 360, there's that can-can. Picture perfect. Spotting the landing and coming in very clean. Big shout out to everyone on our Simple Session YouTube channel cheering on our riders. We want to hear from you. And I also want to hear from you what you thought of that 360 can-can stepping over the top tube. And we've got our 4 judges right there trying to figure out what score is going to be. It's 0 to 100. The judges have to figure out where that's going to fit. And it's going to be a 51.25. So Kim Lea Mueller is going to have a lot of room to move up that ladder for her second run.
It must be always difficult to drop in first, right? You haven't seen the others yet. The nerves are kicking in. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of nerves, especially this is one of the biggest contests in action sports. It means so much, not only to get into the podium in a finals, but also you want to be out here because the whole world is watching and cheering on our women riders.
But hey, next one, we have Sasha Pardoe from Dudley, United Kingdom. Sasha is also a pretty prominent upcoming name in the BMX world. And she won the Euros even before she went for the Nationals. So, you start from top end.
Yeah, the top down, Sasha also riding and representing tall order. We're actually seeing Angie Marino right there. She's going to be riding later on in the heat, giving a little bit of a wave, and we can see Sasha over there tucked in the corner. Maybe that's a little bit of a strategic move to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a fashionably entrance out here and let the other riders not know what you're thinking in terms of strategy.
I feel like these girls are full of surprises, and they are determined. They are in it to win it.
So 60 seconds are on that clock. Again, you can see Tall Order. Shout out to Sebastian Keep. He is the owner of Tall Order. He's no stranger at all to Simple Session. He's actually been on our show before hosting and also a rider. But right now, he is cheering on Sasha. She pumps around that corner and then laying over some classic style with that tabletop. That is one of the foundation tricks in BMX. And whenever a rider can lay over a good one, it just looks so clean. Right now, jumping into our street section, you can see the transfer into the elevation part of the course, flowing down. And Tuli, look at the size of those rails. These are really tall, and they have to make the riders really think about what tricks they're going to do, as opposed to some of the other contests when the rails are a lot smaller.
I know, and Sasha is known for being a high flyer as well as a technical rider, so you can really see how it goes here.
Yeah, throwing down some style right there. She's got about 10 seconds on the course. You can hear our on-course MC, Andy Zeiss, letting her know that she's got to work something out for a final thought. And that is going to be time right there for Sasha Pardoe.
And Sasha as well, I think most of the girls, all of them actually, are role models for young girls everywhere. Because when you see them competing on a national scale, international scale, that's an inspiration.
Yeah, and that X-up was very inspiring over the bubble, we like to call it. And there was that tabletop. I love the way that she just leans into it. You can see tucking the knees, laying the bars over. And I'm going to say that was some trail style. All of our riders out there know if you do some tricks on the trails and in the woods, you're usually giving it a little bit more style and finesse. And she was able to incorporate that over the hip. Because even though this is a skate park made out of wood, it's not just linear where you go back and forth. There's a lot of pockets and little corners, and we saw that with Sasha starting her first run. She actually dropped her shoulder in the pocket and built up speed. So she got a 54 right there, and that's why you could see maybe that score was potentially a little bit higher, just because she had a lot of control on the course and really utilized those little transitions.
But hey, next one, we have Liis Lokk from Estonia. So she's going to be riding in front of the home crowd at 22 years of age. She's really, really representing Estonian crowd here. Plus, you know what? She was actually at the hockey game yesterday at Simple Session Skate versus BMX, and BMX won.
I love hearing that. Now, if you haven't had an opportunity to come to Simple Session before, please book your calendar for next year. There's going to be a year 26. It's not just about what happens on the course, but it's about the Estonian culture. It's about all of the brotherhood, the sisterhood, everybody coming together. And right now we're seeing our Estonian rider, Liis Lokk, on the course. This is her second time at Simple Session, and she said a dream of hers would actually be to represent Estonia in the Olympics. Tuli, how cool is that BMX freestyle is now a part of the Olympics?
I know, it's amazing. And there's so many countries who are actually putting so much effort into building skate parks, really taking care of the youth. Especially you see all the Japanese kids rising from everywhere. It's just mad. So I'm really happy to see an Estonian girl just killing it on the course.
Well, I want to ask you, because you've been a prominent feature and addition in all action sports and anything that even has to do with lifestyle, and especially here at Simple Session, what's it been like to see the evolution of women in sports? Not only BMX, but just action sports and women as a whole over the last few years.
Honestly, I think it's about time. I think, girls need a stage, and I'm so happy that we are giving them a stage because they are so strong and they are so good. And I want to see more girls on bikes, more girls on skateboards, and more big competitions, including girls, and also broadcasting it on TV.
Well, you said it. It's about time. And right now we're looking at the slow-mo replays right there. Liis going for that 360, putting her foot down a little bit, but having no problems taking the handoff, looking for that X-up. And I got to give her so much credit. And one of the cool things about Simple Session is that we have a platform for our local riders. The fact that a lot of these big name pros have been at the X Games or at the Olympics before, but to have them come into your hometown and then ride on the big stage with them is no easy feat at all. So it's very cool to see her out here.
I know, and you know, Liis is a pioneering female at BMX in simple session. It's a big thing. I'm so proud of her. But we're gonna have a little catch up with her from our field reporter. So let's go to Liis. Let's see how Liis thinks.
So Liis, you are the only local riders here at the Easter session. How does it feel to perform in such an amazing setting in front of your local crowd?
Yeah, local crowd is really amazing. It's like really cool to ride in front of your friends and family.
Do you have a little word to say in Estonian to the people who are coming here to encourage you?
Ja ma tahaks väga tänada oma pere ja sõpru, kes tulid täna mind siia toetama, oma toetajaid, kes annavad mulle kogu aeg hoogu juurde, et mina saaksin siin sõita.
Thank you and all the best for the second run.
There you go. Well done, Liis. Do you think it's easier or harder to perform in front of a home crowd, Daryl?
I think just being here on the world stage could be really challenging. On one hand, you got the support, but on the other hand, you could potentially put the pressure on yourself. Well, one rider who could deal with the pressure, she's actually performed at the Olympic Games in Tokyo and Paris. This is coming from Santiago, Chile, Macarena Perez Run with a look back over the bubble. Look at Maca go as she toboggans in that pocket air and a backflip all the way to the landing, Tuli.
I know, and Macarena, you know, it's having all these girls here coming from all the way from Santiago, Chile. It's really representing the top of the top from the world.
And speaking of the world, everybody's tuning in on our YouTube live stream. We have the legend, Miss Corey Coffey, tuning in from Detroit. She was the first woman to do a backflip on the BMX bike, and now she's seeing her influence out here at Sister Session as Macarena Perez threw the big backflip. Unfortunately, getting a little bit lost on the course, landing flat, but let's see if she could build up that momentum again, because all 60 seconds count, especially as this is our final. Looking for the X up over that teardrop spine, and Maca has time for a final thought. Let's see if she's going to take it or save it for run number 2.
And you know, Macarena said it herself that she's really dedicated in promoting the sport, especially around young girls. That's why whenever she's competing, she's really, really pushing it that the girls just step up and, you know, follow her footsteps. And I think it's amazing. And especially in Latin America.
Yeah, it's so cool at this backflip. Take a look how she spots the landing and she goes all the way to the Doritos logo. It's really difficult to jump that box jump. If you've never been on one of these simple session courses, that box jump is enormous. It's almost 2 meters high. It's about 7 feet tall, and it has a lot of length. You saw the no-hander there as well, where she was able to tuck the bars in her lap and take the arms off. Really dialed and smooth. Again, if you're on the chat, we have Jeffrey Whaley cheering in and everybody from Costa Rica. I love seeing that support, and she got the support of the judges with the 71.75. So that's going to put her in that top position. Again, the top score you could get is out of 100, but we're going to start to see a full picture as we work through our riders.
And next one we have Linda Grabner. You know, Linda is one of the really good friends of Jordan Goodwin, of Felix Brandenburg. You know, Linda's been coming to Simple Session before. Linda is a strong street rider, so let's see how she does on this course.
Yeah, unbelievable street rider for women's BMX. You saw that gap to double peg, this time jumping up, getting some speed, coming back, going down the Euro and getting the double peg on the backside of the bubble, but I spoke too soon. Her foot slipped off, but she still has a lot of time to work things out.
Daryl, do you know that Linda is a former professional ski jumper?
I don't, but it would not surprise me because I know that she also breakdances in her off time as well. She can do it all, and right now she's doing that clean double peg. For all of our riders at home who are wondering about these ledges, they're a lot bigger than your local skate park. They are extremely steep, and it can throw you right into the ground with a lot of momentum. And right now, she's going to exit out of that street section and looking to do something here with the final 6 seconds on the clock. Come on, Linda, what do you got for us? Going to the kink rail? Oh!
Oh, but she still has a second run, you know. It's not over yet. She did good.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, it's going to be a best run count format. A lot of times riders will wind up getting some of the jitters and nerves out, but you saw that she came out swinging right there with the big gap to double peg grind, catching both pegs on the coping, and you can see that right there. Trying to get into that transition, came up a little bit short. It blew her feet off the pedals. And here's a look at a feeble grind and then dropping down into a crank arm grind. That was one of the bigger tricks of her run right there, a two-piece combo on the flat ledge. And you saw that she had that feeble with the front wheels up, back pegs grinding, and then transitioned to the crank arm. So the judges are going to have a difficult time because we're seeing different styles out here. Macarena Perez with a little more park focused, and she's still going to be our leader with the 71.75, but Linda Grabner has a 47.25, so that's going to currently put her in fourth, but we have yet to see all of our riders go.
And next one we have Teresa Miranda. So Teresa has always also been to simple session before. She's raced for Spain. And there you go, she drops in.
Yeah, one of the most stylish female riders out there, and you can see the way, even though she landed a little flat, she had more height than anyone else. She was able to pull back off the top of the transition, and look how well she recovered. She pumped around that bowl corner, and she's showing you, hey, this park's not linear. I can use those little transitions and then blast with that big toboggan air, and she utilized that spine both ways, getting speed and momentum. So right now, I'm loving what she's putting out there as she turns around on her GoPro quarter pipe, having a little trouble on the island, but just showing you that she's got a lot of bike control, Thule.
And you know, she's one of the best female bowl riders in the world. Like, she's been making a name for herself from Vans Pro Cup and so on. So I think it's really interesting to see how she goes.
Look at this on our gut face. Art mural on the far side of the park. Coming back at time for a final thought. And it looks like you can hear Andy Zeiss count down the clock, and that is going to be the buzzer for Teresa Miranda Run.
So what's your prediction? What do you think? How is she going to score?
That's a hard one to say because she did have some difficulty landing flat and low, but look at she's able to pull up for the height. There's the no-hander, tucking the bars into the lap, and that's what I was talking about. She pulled up, getting some juice on that transition, but wasn't able to gauge the distance right. I have a feeling if she can put together in her second run what we saw here a little bit cleaner, she's going to have an opportunity to potentially get up on top of that podium. I'm not taking away from this run at all. I just love what she puts out there, and the fact that she landed a little low, she will most likely be penalized for.
And the best run counts, and all the girls have a second run left. So
and look at this, big score,
nice
61.
one.
Like I said, I wasn't counting that score out. So she's currently sitting in number 2 behind Macarena Perez, and Sasha Pardoe is sitting in that third place position. But again, it's anyone's game. Best run counts, and that can happen up until the last rider.
But hey, Daryl, we have Angie Marino now, a proper sister session legend. The first time Angie came to simple session was in 2012. And I spoke to her before, you know, she's been injured. She just came back from a leg injury, so she actually told me yesterday she's not feeling the best, but she's just super happy to be here. And you know, she's doing Bloom BMX. She's a proper ambassador for females in BMX. So you know what? I told her as well that, hey, just have fun with it, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, Angie, our oldest rider on the course, the veteran out here, flowing around, nice and stylish with that transfer.
And you know, Andy has 3 silver medals from sister session. So we were kind of joking about it before as well. Like, you know, she doesn't think she's going to take the gold this time, but 3 silver medals, like, hey, that's a really good achievement.
Trying to work things out, have about 20 seconds to go. I love seeing on the far end of that course, there's that graffiti art mural by Gutface. He is a BMX rider. He's been part of Simple Session since he first came in 2008. He actually painted murals at the last 3 years, and you can see right there, Angie putting her tires up on it, coming back at us. And it looks like that's going to be time for Angie Marino. And
the mural you were just mentioning, you know, there's a tribute to 2 athletes that unfortunately they're not with us anymore. So it's Pat Casey and Kishore Johnson.
Yeah, much love to those 2 legends. They're part of the Simple Session family, and I love to see that tribute that he worked in there so nicely. But gut face is definitely one of the parts of the art element of Simple Session, which is really big because it's about the lifestyle beyond just the riding. And right now, Angie Marino, we're seeing some of her highlights. There was that feeble grind and styling across the park. Our judges have to figure out not only what she's going to get for her numeric value, but how does that fit in with the other riders who have already gone and have yet to go. It's a difficult job because you're judging all riders against each other.
I see, like they're like really struggling, and you know, Angie said before she doesn't feel at her A game, so you could really see the judges were struggling. But let's see what Angie thinks of her run, and we're gonna go to Avalis.
Angie, you're one of the OG here. It's a pleasure to see you, sister station after sister station. What changed the most for you since your first attendance?
It's amazing to be back here, and it's so incredible to watch all the girls just killing it out here, and I'm excited to see everyone just go hard today.
Well, thank you so much.
But hey, next one, Perris Benegas. You know what? She is one of the top girls in the world. She's a silver medalist from Paris 2024 Olympics and a UCI world champion. So you know what? I am so excited to see her ride.
Not only that, she also has a silver medal the first time women's BMX was ever at the X Games in Ventura. And look at that, starting it off with a big no-hander. You saw the way that she was able to tuck the seat, pinch the seat with her knees, and a bar spin to X up. Perris out here looking so dominant and in control, especially the way she was able to grab that bowl corner and just pump and keep her momentum going. Look at the way that she goes back to the box jump, tire grab, looking for a combo right there, but she's able to link it together with a big tabletop air on that transfer. Perris now jumping into her elevated street section. Looks like she's gonna catch some air on the Unibet wedge, and she's coming back in now looking for something here where she's gonna feeble grind going up. All right, so you're seeing that the pegs are getting used as Perris cans over the island, putting that top foot and now taking her bottom hand off. She's got 5 seconds to go. What is it gonna be, Tuli?
I don't know, like I just love watching her. Do you think she's gonna take top of the podium for now, after the first run?
It's really hard to call because Macarena had that big backflip, but we saw Perris start things off with that no-hander, the Sui grabbing the seat with the knees as opposed to tucking the bars. She had that one-hand X-up that was perfect. She also throws the bars to a perfect cadence X-up right there. So you see she just spins the bars 360s, twists them 180, brings them back, and then even though she didn't get that combo from the tire grab, she still kept her momentum going. She utilized elements of street right there. I'd be surprised if she wasn't on the top.
Well, she is. She took the first spot for now.
And look at that, an 86 coming in. Big score for Perris, bumping into the top right there.
Strong start. And there's still a second run to go. I'm excited to see how that goes as well.
So we see the judges like to have speed, style, flow, and use of the whole course, and Perris checked all of those boxes.
But now we have a 15-year-old Alirah Norris from Australia, and she is also one of the top competitors here today. When I've been speaking to the judges, I've been speaking to the other athletes, so let's see how she goes. You know that they moved to Gold Coast with their family just to progress BMX, because she's here with her mum.
I love that commitment. It is so cool to see.
And Alirah is also the first female in the Monster Army in BMX. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, those are definitely impressive, but that family support is everything. It's so good to see as well. She's trying to take a page out of Perris's book. She's in the street section as well. A lot of speed, looking for that transfer to try and keep that momentum. Looks like that alley-oop. That's when a rider floats backwards, usually in their non-traditional direction, and finds that landing. Trying to work things out and build the momentum back. Let's see if she focuses on the box jump.
And a 15 years of age, she's already won the Bloom BMX Rookie Award. And you know, Bloom BMX celebrates females in BMX. So it's a pretty impressive award as well.
Love seeing Aaron Cullen in the chat cheering on the fellow Australian right there.
You know who else is cheering for Alirah? Boyd Hilda. Boyd is here. Like, I always see him, like, you know, cheering him on and, like, really, really rooting for her.
Yeah, we got Greg Illingworth as well. No stranger to a simple session, or even when we did summer session. But look at the height on that X-up, twisting the bars backwards. There's another X-up, not on the quarter pipe, but on the step up. And it gave her so much momentum where she was able to air to the top of that quarter. Look at the 1 foot X with the combination, kicking her vans right over that top tube and spotting the landing clean.
She really is a truly fearless athlete. I mean, look at her go at only 15 years of age. Oh, look at the sisterhood over there. That's what we would like to see. That's what simple session is all about. Now let's see how the judges go. I feel like they're having such a hard time here. You spoke to the judges before. What do you think is the judging criteria here, especially looking at how the first scores have gone?
Yeah, the number one bullet point that they all want to express is that this is so cool that we have BMX, park, and street together. Some years we've had it actually the same course, but we had riders broken up into different categories. But it's a really hard thing. How do you judge somebody potentially doing a street move and somebody doing a box jump move, right? But then you can have a rider who could potentially do them both, like we saw with Perris Benegas, and then she was rewarded with that 86 big score. So they're excited to be here. They love being a part of it. Bart de Jong was actually a part of Simple before the first one even happened, and they are excited to just try to figure out what these female riders are going to do on the course.
So Alirah landed on the 6th spot for now, but as you said before, a second run is yet to go. But next one, Lara Lessmann. Lara is also no stranger to simple session. Lara has also been attending several events before. We are very excited to have her back, riding for Red Bull. Lara is really well known in the BMX community. How do you think she goes?
She is extremely talented. She also competed at the Olympic Games, so it's cool to say that we have Olympians here at Simple Session, and that's been part of the progression of the sport. As we said, the first ever sister session was back in 2013, and now it's just been almost a staple where contests have female riders, and it's great to see the progression, and we definitely know that Lara has been pushing it from that very get-go.
And you know, last time when we were in the big arena in 2020, Lara was 3rd, so she was on the podium.
Yeah, I know she would love to work her way up higher in a 2nd or 1st place. There's a can over that top tube. Come on. Looking to work things out with a quick manual. That's using that back wheel. And final thought right here. Looking for the turn down. Not able to get it done over the hip. But I have a feeling that we're going to wind up seeing our riders really find their footing on their 2nd runs, because we talk about the nerves, the energy, the excitement. And again, it's not taken away from her 1st run, but we just know if you've been on that podium before, Lara in 3rd in 2020, she has what it takes to get back on that podium again.
And you know, I spoke to her yesterday, and she was in Australia for like 7 months. And she's actually taking a flight back home tomorrow morning already, because she said that she just wants to go home.
There was a look at the no-footed can-can. First rider we saw do one of those. Both feet came off over that top tube, kicking it off to the side. Clean execution.
So Lara, well, she was 3rd in 2020. Let's see, for now she's 3rd.
So she's potentially sitting in a podium spot in that 3rd place. Perris Benegas, Macarena Perez, and Lara Lessmann, 1, 2, and 3. But anything can and will change up until the end of our 2nd run of riders.
But next one, we have Nikita, and Nikita was 1st in 2020. I mean, I think all the girls are kind of looking at her a little bit because she is strong.
Very strong indeed, the Olympic medal winner. I know that her whole family is cheering on from California right now. 360 all the way to the landing, spotting it nice and clean. Come on, Nikita, working things out. Can over that bubble. 86 is the score to beat. Big air, putting some pedals down to build the momentum, going back over the bubble in the opposite direction, building the momentum through the bowl corner. Looking to get a hit right here, and a tabletop, nicely done, airing out of a Red Bull quarter with enough speed to get her over that Doritos box. Not enough to pull a trick together, but she's got 16 seconds to work it out. 360. Thule, it's very difficult at the end of your run. It's a long time if you're on the course with your nerves. I know 60 seconds might not seem like a long time, but imagine trying to do an all-out sprint for 60 seconds, because that's what it feels like when you've got all that energy on the course.
Nikita is a proper international athlete, you know. She's born in France, raised in California, and she spent most of her summers with her family in Switzerland. So, you know, she can just travel all over the world with ease, and she's no stranger to the big parks around the world.
Shout out to Stephen Woodward BMX cheering her on. I love it out here. The BMX family, male, women, licking behind our riders and just pushing it as we have right now. Nikita. Some of the highlights from her run. She's so talented. You know, not only is she a powerful rider, but she's extremely stylish as well.
But let's go to Ovalis and see what Nikita thinks of her run.
Nikita, welcome back to Sister Session. Last time we saw you here, it was in 2020 when you won. What did you miss the most about the event?
I think just coming out here with everyone, having a really unique course, and just having fun.
And about the crowd, did you miss the Estonian crowd?
Definitely, it's always a great crowd out here.
Thank you so much, Nikita. All the best for the second run.
And again, look, judges look happier now. I don't know. I think, you know, the first runs are almost over, so they have a pretty good picture now on the level of riding.
Yeah, they start to see how the riders are approaching the course, what they're going to do, and it looks like a 61.50 will be Nikita's score, so that's going to put her in that fourth spot just outside of Lara Lessmann, Macarena Perez, and our current leader, Perris Benegas, with an 86.
And hey, next one, we have Miharu Ozawa from Japan, and Japanese kids, we've been seeing them on skateboards and BMX in both female and male categories, and I mean, they are going to be on podiums because, you know, Japan is putting so much effort into training kids and trying to get them into Olympics. So there you go. What a start, Daryl.
Yeah, red carpet entrance, backflip variation over the box, and then you see the height on the quarter pipe. It is safe to say that this is some of the fastest and highest tricks we've seen so far. I believe that was a 360 double bar spin. A little hard to see from our house right here, but anyone in the chat, let us know. Was that 2 times around with the bars? And look at the air on that tabletop at the 35-second mark. To have this kind of momentum shows you how in control and confident she is on this Nate Wessel course.
And she's only 15 years old, and she's already finished second at FIS Montpellier World Cup. You know, she's just popping away into big competitions, and look at her go. I mean, I think she's going to be on the podium, Daryl. What do you think?
This is an enormous run. The fact she threw the bars with 15 seconds to go, if she could show the judges, hey, I'm in control right now, I still got the energy, and I could put an exclamation point on the end of my run, that is going to help her. She had that can across, and that was an enormous run for the Japanese rider, Miharu Ozawa.
You know, at Simple Session, we have so many strong Japanese athletes here. We actually have a translator to help them out with the interviews.
And what the cool thing is, her brother here is riding as well, and we are going to see him in the event, but there we go. That was a backflip with the bar spin. And watch the bars, 1, 2 times around. That is a double truck driver right there. We got Hop on a Bike in our chat. Let me know that was a double truck all day. That is indeed what happened 2 times around on the bars. But look at that X-up. That was twisted well beyond 180 degrees, almost at that 270 mark, and got a nice clean re-entry. Not only did she have these big tricks like the backflip bar spin, the 360 double bar spin, the air on that tabletop transfer, an 84.25.
Oh, amazing, Daryl. I mean, as I said, and we still have second runs to go, and the Japanese kids are just all killing it. I mean, it's just like taking podiums everywhere, all over the world. But hey, next one, we have Bethany Hedrick, and she was the first gold medal in 2023 at Sister Session.
So right now, Bethany Hedrick is going to need higher than an 86, which is currently held by Perris Benegas. She has done it before, as you just mentioned, in 2023. Let's see what Hedrick has. Smith grind across the channel. looking to put it on as she jumps up our step up, back with a lot of speed, tabletop coming down. A little bit some Pete Augustin, old school street style right there. Double peg on the Visit Estonia sub. Flying off the back a little bit, but able to keep it together to get that bar spin coming back at us. We're seeing a very different style than Perris and Miharu as she goes for that tail whip right there.
What do you think? Do you think judges are gonna love it, or what's?
They loved her style last year, 2023, she was able to get in first place, but this course right here is enormous. So she's gonna have to keep turning it up and make the most out of the time. I know I love it, and I know that our chat is loving it. So what's going on? 180! Woo. Come on! Oh! There we go.
Strong ending.
Yes, Bethany right there, putting down the 180 over the street spine. You see some of the fans in the crowd showing that she came in fakey. She had to keep her back pedal going and got that clean roll out.
What a strong start, Daryl. I mean, Bethany was the last girl in the first run, so now we know all of the scores in just a few seconds.
So let's take a look. She focused more on the street section. Here's the bunny hop bar spin. You see there's not much of a takeoff right there, and then she was able to set up for this step up where she kicks a tail whip, and I love the way that she utilized her upper body more so than her legs to get that momentum of the frame coming around and spotting the pedals. But right here's the cherry on top, the exclamation point, as we say, the 180 full rollout, and getting that done at the time before the buzzer. Shout out to her new sponsor, Kink Bikes. I know Jay Rowe is cheering her on.
But hey, let's see what Bethany thinks of her run herself, and let's go to Avalis to chat to her.
Well, Bethany, you are our last sister session winner. How does it feel coming back as a returning champion?
It's fun. I really wasn't expecting to win last time. I just wanted to come out here and have fun and ride my bike like I do back home. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now. So yeah, just have fun, represent the new sponsor. Bike's feeling good. I love Estonia. Thank you guys for having me.
And what a first run, what a first run. You happy with yourself?
What?
You happy with yourself?
Pee-wees.
Happy with yourself.
Oh, yeah, I slipped the foot on like 2 things, but I mean, I'll try to clean it up next run for sure.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Bethany. Let's have a look at the score.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have the scores from all the girls from the first runs, and we have our top 3 for now, but nothing is certain yet. Everyone still has a second run, and judging the faces of the girls, they are so determined, all of them, to improve their scores. So what do you think, Daryl?
Well, I want to know what you guys think in the chat. I see Rax the Great right there, hyped on the 180 on the spine. But look at the top scores standing right now. Perris Benegas, the 86 is the score to beat. We've got Japan holding strong with an 84.25. Santiago, Chile, Macarena Perez with a 71.75. Lara Lessmann, Bethany Hedrick, Nikita Ducarroz, Teresa, and Sasha are going to be your top 8. But look at that, 86 to 54. And the things that really stand out to me, Perris, speed, style, tricks, blasting the box jump, and showed you that she was in control the whole time. But you're going to hear us talk about it over and over. This is a best run format counts. That means up to the last rider, who we know is going to be Bethany Hedrick. It can change everything.
But before we go to the second runs, we're going to have a little break. The girls need to catch their breath, the judges need to collect their thoughts. So we're going to be back with you just in a couple of minutes. So we're done with the first runs for sister session on International Women's Day. Darrell, what are your thoughts of the level of riding? Because you've been going to competitions all over the world, including the Olympics. So how do you judge the level of riding today?
Well, I'm going to take some word from our YouTube chat, because again, we have one of the biggest legends of female BMX, Miss Corey Coffey. She said it best. All the ladies are crushing it, and I have to agree. This course is so big. Nate Wessel designed it. We're back in our arena. This is the iconic Unibet Arena that everyone knows of Simple Session. We were in a different part of the city for a few years, but we are back. And it is about time, as you mentioned, for International Ladies' Day and Sister Session to be put on the platform like it is. So we went through our first run. Now it's time for our second round of riders. They're going to have 60 seconds, and anybody can go back on top because it's best run counts.
Absolutely. And you know, Kim's currently at 11, but I do know how competitive she is. So you can already see that she's just stronger and sending it. What do you think, Darrell?
Now, one thing to note, the riders might actually do a very similar run to their first, because it's best run counts. The judges aren't looking for something different, but that difference in the tail whip will definitely be rewarded well. So that tail whip there, you can see over that big box jump. We saw a tail whip in the first run done by Bethany Hedrick. That was on a step up that wasn't as far or big of a jump. So the difficulty increases. Same thing with that 360 over the island. You could hear our in-course MC, Andy Zeiss, getting the crowd pumped up because he knows that 360 is so difficult to do. When you have a takeoff and a landing that are equally as steep, it's harder. Your margin of error increases, and she was able to spot the landing perfectly, and that is a full run from Lea Mueller.
Do you think, well, she definitely improved her score, right, Darrell?
Yeah, that was huge. Look at this X up right here, able to get back into the landing. And the 360 can-can, look how much momentum she had. She almost landed a little back wheel heavy. I said almost because she was able to keep it together for that tail whip right there. Coming around, riding and representing for Colony. I know Clint Miller, the owner of Colony, is watching on our stream right now from Australia, saying go, 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 especially on that 360. Oh, so smooth coming in. And now this is where the judges have to think, what is it going to be? Because our first score was a 51.25. So will this be an improvement from there? But will it be enough to potentially get in a podium spot? We're going to see if it goes on that podium as we still wait in the score coming in.
Oh my God, she's third. That's a huge leap upwards.
76.75, so her score is going to be in. That's going to bump Macarena Perez out. But
look at Boyd cheering her on.
But it's anyone's game, so it could switch around. You mentioned Boyd Hilder. He has won Simple Session 2 times before. He's going to be riding qualifying after this. But you see that camaraderie between the men, the women, the BMX family out here. Right now, Sasha Pardoe is getting locked and loaded for her second run. First run was a 54, and she wants to up it.
And Sasha is a strong competitor. I mean, she won gold at the 2024 European BMX Championship. So, you know, let's see how her second run goes.
That was a great way to start it with that 1 foot X up. And look at the way she was able to pump around that bowl corner again into the tabletop and then looking to twist an ET to turn down. Yes, that ET is paying some homage to the Steven Spielberg classic that inspired so many of an older generation to get into BMX, and we're seeing a spin on it from Sasha as she does a tuck no-hander over the box jump.
And the 19-year-old is also a British champion, you know, she's a national champ, and she's also killing it at the international competition. So being here with the top girls from all over the world is also a really, really fun and good milestone for her.
And the cool thing is our riders can select any part on the course that they want to start from their vantage point, and then they can choose any lines throughout the entire time. And I love that Sasha was able to pump around that bowl corner. And it's not even a bowl corner, it's really just a vert quarter pipe with a little bit of a kink transition, but it just goes to show you her bike control. It's hard to drop your shoulder in like that and build momentum and speed. So she showed that she had a lot of style throughout, and she started it off with this one-footed X-up. I love that that was her choice for trick selection. She also had that tabletop. You can see a tweak look back right there.
And Sasha currently sits at 9th position, so let's see if she improves her run or not.
You can see on the gut face mural getting a little bit sideways, but the judges, Marcus Wilke, looking through his notes. Marcus has won a X Games gold medal before. He runs Freedom BMX magazine in Germany. They give out the awards for Riders of the Year. They also follow some of the best content, and he has to use some of his BMX brain power, you see, looking at his score sheet, trying to figure out what Sasha Pardoe's score will be.
Well, Sasha looks hopeful. She looks at the screen, waiting for a score.
Travelocity on her chat. I hope she gets extra points for cool hair. I have to agree, and she did with a 63.62. So that's going to put her in the 7th spot. Not enough to bump into podium, but much higher showing on her second run.
And next up we have Liis Lokk, the Estonian BMX rider. Currently sitting on last position, but the game is not over yet. She still has a second run, so let's go. And you know, Liis did participate at the hockey game yesterday with BMX and skate, so you know, that probably took a bit of a toll as well.
Yeah, having the full excitement. That's what it's about here at Simple Session. It's not just about BMX and skating on the course, but it is the lifestyle. This is one of the biggest events in all of action sports because the party programming goes just as hard, if not harder, than what we see here on one of the world's best parks.
It really is, because you need to be killing it during the day and also during the night, and you need to be able to keep up with that.
Yeah, right now, the Estonian rider, that's one of the things that's so cool about this. We always create this platform for local riders to express themselves and ride with the biggest names in BMX and skateboarding. A lot of times, big contests will roll through town, and they'll wind up having everybody put the attention, but they never give any shine time to the local riders. And we're seeing right now Liis Lokk with that can-can step over. It's her second time here at Simple Session, and she flies up on that step up. And I gotta give her credit, because this course is so big, it's so intimidating. There's a lot of riders out here who are lifetime riders, and they wouldn't even drop in on other people's bikes, or when they're out there, they go, this course is so big, and it's hard to even hit some of these lines. So if you've never rode this course before, you might be watching her out there trying to take it in. Yes, she's been riding it, but I've tipped my hat in her direction, because again, this is a really intimidating course.
And you know, Liis is from Tartu, the birthplace of Simple Session, so that's her hometown, where we were actually last year.
I love seeing that. So 35.25, it looks like her second score is going to be the one that sticks, but not enough for a podium.
Well done, Liis. I'm very proud of her. You know, it's not easy to come here to compete with the top girls from the world, but hey, she did great. But next one, we have Macarena Perez.
So right now, Maca is sitting on a 4th just outside of the podium. If anyone can get into the top spots, it's definitely Macarena Perez. She's from Santiago, Chile. She actually grew up with a concrete skate park just outside of her house. I had a chance to ride that one time with her and to see the lines that she has and the ability, especially on some bowl corner features what this park has, along with big jumping tricks. This could be her day. All eyes are focused right now as she sets up with the big toboggan, looking for that no-hander over the box jump. Big transfer, grabbing that pocket, pumping around.
And Macarena is known for having the strong suit in park and not street. So you can really see the parts of the park that she's really concentrating on.
Gets a smooth X-up floating over that box jump.
And Macarena has also some pretty notable sponsors. You know, she rides for Monster Vans, Oakley, Sunday Bikes. Like, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, getting a nice smooth X-up. Trying to work it out right here. You see her pumping through, grabbing some backside on the island, able to hit all 3 of those transitions right there. And it looks like Maca is going to wind up waving off the rest of her time. So unfortunately, that second run not going her way. That first run, though, she had that 71.75 with a big backflip. I see a lot of people in the chat out here giving the support for the riders, talking a little bit about women's judges in BMX. I want to give a shout out to Christy Hughes. She's not here with us today at this event, but she is a women's judge in BMX, and she's traveled around the world to many contests and has actually scored Macarena Perez, and she would have given that toboggan air we saw a perfect 10 because that had great execution. So Christy, I know you're watching out here cheering on your fellow riders. We love it and love seeing out there. Also in the chat, we love seeing the support for all of our women. Rax the Great saying Maka is awesome. I have to agree with you. So at 53 is going to be her second run. But I got to say, 7:1.75 at one of the biggest contests in the world is not too shabby at all.
Absolutely not. She did great. You know, she had a great first run. You know, some of them have a great second run, and she's on the 4th position right now. So let's see how it evolves. The next one, we have Linda Grabner from Austria, but Linda lives in Cologne, where Cologne has a pretty good street riding community for BMX, right?
All right, I think you're underselling that, right? Pretty good. You got some of the best in the world, right? And it just happens to be that one of her riding mates, Felix Praningberg, you know that name because he's won Simple Session before. He is a badass rider, and I know that a lot of his style and some of the tricks he does have rubbed off on Linda. He gets coaching sessions from her, and really all that means is they ride together because Linda is a fun person to ride with. And we're seeing right now her depart down into our park section. I don't think that was intentional, but let's see what she's going to wind up doing with this next 18 seconds.
And maybe we're going to see Linda doing some breakdancing at the after party as well.
I hope so, but right now we're seeing her try to keep it together on that feeble grind to 180, going across that kinked ledge and trying to get that full spin, not able to get it around. And this is going to be time for Linda, double peg at the buzzer.
So Linda Grabner, 24 years old, from Austria, residing in Cologne, riding for Vanzura, We the People Doomed, Odyssey BMX and Zintino. Let's see how Linda scores after her second run.
Yeah, I love that gap to double peg grind. You see her utilizing both pegs as she clears to that down and transition. No problems at all with the double peg over the bubble on the street side. And here's a look at that combination. Feeble trying to get that 180. You see she turns to her left, taking the hard way out. Not able to get the full rotation on the slow-mo. You could see how much pressure were on her tires, and she wound up falling off the back of the horse. But a 44.50 is what she is going to be rewarded with. The first score is going to stick.
But you know what, I spoke to Linda yesterday, and she said that she likes to focus on filming more. So you know what, she likes comps, but she loves filming more and then just going down the streets and riding. So I think she's happy with the score either way. But next one, we have Teresa Miranda. So Teresa, I think, is definitely going to improve her score because she is one strong girl.
I love the way she started things off with the no-hander over that island. One of the first riders we saw drop in and hit the island first, getting stylish over the bubble, coming back at us, toboggan air out of that vert quarter pipe. Getting a little bit twisted and pitted on that teardrop spine, lost her momentum. Come on, let's put the energy out there to see if she can find her rhythm and flow for this 25 seconds that are left on the clock.
I really hope she does, because Teresa is also such an inspiration for young girls everywhere, especially in Spain. She organizes workshops. She's a prominent figure in promoting the sport among women. And you know what? However she does today, everyone is still super proud of her. She's doing good.
Yeah, there's a can right into the toboggan air. And at the buzzer, tweaking a turn down. Oh! Falling off to the side. But the big smile goes on her face right there, putting the hands up to the crowd.
It's all about having that smile in your face, right? I mean, Simple Session always has such a good vibe. That's why all the athletes, hundreds and hundreds of them, keep on coming back here, and Simple Session's 25th birthday is no exception.
Yeah, that's a point that you make that I just want to highlight to everyone at home. One of the big reasons why Simple Session has grown to the size that it has, yes, it's a contest, yes, it's a competition, yes, we have awesome prize money for the riders, but riders, their unique styles are celebrated here. There's riders who come and go, I'm not even going to be able to make it into the finals. I'm not even going to do a full run. They just have a gap they want to do, or maybe they have a signature trick that they want to pull, and we are here for it. We want to see it. I know some years that riders will just kind of focus, and it's just about having that good energy and that camaraderie and being here. So If you haven't experienced it, please come to edition 26. It's going to happen. We had 25 before this, so start planning now. We don't have the exact date. We're thinking sometime in March, but just know, hey, 2026, I'm going to be in Estonia, and I'm going to be a part of the party because the invitation is here. The hand is extended. You can be not only in the stands, you can be cheering the riders on with Tuli and I, but you could also be out on that dance floor, seeing Linda's breakdance moves. You can see Tuli cutting a rug up there. So we want to see you here at Estonia.
So let's see. Then the scores are in, and Teresa is ranking 6th. We still have half of the girls to go, so nothing is certain yet. And next one, Angie Marino, the legend at Sister Session, been coming back here since 2012. As I said before, Angie told me she's not feeling at her A game at the moment. She's just coming back from a surgery. But Angie is such a notable person in the female BMX, progressing the sport, has been doing it for years. She's 34 years old. Running Bloom BMX, you know, the list goes on.
Yeah, starting things out with the double peg grind coming down. Yellow 82 in the chat says, this is a big course. Most riders seem to be getting gassed in 1 minute. Yes, this course is enormous. I don't really know if the screen does it justice of just how big the course is, but you can see when she's feeble grinding and then dropping down these elevation changes, it's over 2 meters, so it's about 7-8 feet, and it's really steep, especially to come off a grind. And you can see the height of the bubble, or even this back quarter, that's about 3 meters tall. It's basically a vert ramp that's in there. So if you don't keep your momentum pumping through the course, you can definitely lose your energy. You can get winded, but we're actually seeing right now Angie Marino flowing with the nice tabletop and working the course to her advantage to keep that speed and flow going.
And Angie currently sits in 10th place, so let's see if she improves her score or not. But I mean, top girls from all over the world. I think the level is really, really strong this year, Daryl.
Shout out to Greenhouse BMX cheering on Angie, also watching our female riders out here. So Angie putting a second run together. Let's take a look at some of the many highlights that Angie had within that time. As you mentioned, that smile was extremely prominent. She went for that double peg. It looked like she almost went into a Smith grind, but here we see the feeble. That's when the back peg is grinding and the front tire is on the ledge. The Smith is the opposite of that. So it would be when your front peg is grinding and your rear wheel is up. Some say that the Smith is harder depending on your body language or how you get into it, but you wouldn't know that because Angie just did a perfect execution on that feeble grind.
And not just perfect execution, but also with a huge smile on her face. And you know, I think all the girls coming here, they have such great attitudes. We love having them over, and you can really feel the sisterhood. That's where the Sister Session also comes from.
Yes, and we know one of the legendary BMX riders, Nina Buitrago, is watching, cheering on all our other riders. You know her because she's a legend of the sport. A little fun fact, actually, Nina, before she got into BMX, she used to hang out at our trails back in New York.
Oh,
she would
fun.
shoot pictures, and we helped get her first BMX bike, which was an S&M dirt bike. And she started her BMX adventures traveling around with us. And then she just took off with a whole life of her own and inspired the world and countless female riders out there to get into BMX, including our current leader, Perris Benegas, silver Olympic medalist at X Games, 86, looking to up the ante. Let's see what she's gonna bring for run 2 of 2. One-hand X up, grabbing the transition, one-handed tabletop. Perris putting the gas back on as she grabs that tire. Look at this, going the distance, pocket around the corner, pumping with some nice flow, Tuli.
I think Perris is really putting her best efforts in because she knows that Miharu is really, really breathing on her neck.
Big combo, two-piece bar spin to X up and had so much momentum into the tabletop transfer. Catching that quick toboggan, X up into our street section and getting a quick wall ride on our Visit Estonia sub-box. There's that Smith grind, so we're seeing a few extra points potentially could be grabbed with the little details that Perris is putting in. Catching some air over the hip, 10 seconds to go, one-hand tabletop. Come on, Tuli, let's see if she can keep it together.
I mean, she's known for her aggressive and stylish riding, and she's really showcasing it on this course.
There we go. Buzzer going off. The crowd here in Estonia going mild right now for Perris Benegas, putting down her second run. Keep in mind, her first run was in 86, and I think she might have topped this potentially, because look at this. Sui no-hander, pinching the seat with the knees, taking the arms off. That stabilizes the front end of the bike. Here's a one-hand X-up. You see she stabilized the bike again with her knees, right? That's keeping the bike, and then here she tosses the bars. Perfect cadence to an X-up past 180, spotting the landing coming in, and then not only did she have the toboggan, but she went into the street section of the course, and she threw in that quick wall ride. Look at this, visit Estonia. She's like, don't mind if I do. And then she had that little Smith grind right there, and then she was able to keep the momentum. So a lot of things going on in that run. There's that smile.
But I mean, she set the bar pretty high for herself. It's 86 already, so let's see if she tops it. There's a sisterhood hugging Angie. I mean, there's so much love between the girls.
But she knows that anybody can take top honors at any moment because the best run counts.
But hey, let's see what Perris thinks of her run, and let's go to Liis.
So Perris, you are very famous for transitions, but also for your big hair. So I imagine a setup like this, it's just a pure playground for you.
Oh my gosh, this setup is unreal. We need more contests like this in BMX.
And I think we already have your score. Oh, still leader, number one.
Oh, heck yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Perris still sits in the first slot. She didn't improve her score, but, you know, 86 is a pretty good score. But we still have a couple of girls to go, some really, really strong competitors. Next one, Alirah Norris from Australia.
Wow, surprised to see that score didn't bump up with those little details. But again, the judges all have their eyes on the course from a better vantage point than we are here. And they might have seen a few things that her landing a little smoother or a little higher on that first run. So we're going to see what happens right now, going over that box jump. And look at the X-up transfer, Tuli.
And you know, Alirah is one of the most notable up-and-coming female BMX riders. So she's currently sitting at the 11th spot, but I'm pretty confident she's going to improve her score. But she's good, Daryl.
Yeah, I hope that she does. I had a chance to actually meet her and her mom this summer at Woodward Camp on the East Coast, and they were traveling, doing the thing for BMX. So to see that family support in such a young rider makes all the difference in the world. But for all you riders out there that maybe don't have the family support, you got the BMX family. A lot of us who maybe didn't have that at home, you found your brotherhood, your sisterhood, and you made your friends, and you traveled the world, and that is who you had. But when you got the family support, going for that.
She's okay, yeah.
Going for that backflip, taking a very hard crash right there. I actually saw her at Woodward Camp this summer going for the backflip where she went down as well. And right now you see she's going off the course. We have some of the best medical in the world who are going to check her out. We never want to speculate. We know a lot of times for our riders, there's a lot of emotions and a lot of nerves out there as well. And we've seen it countless times. Riders get their composure and they're okay. So we're going to hope that that's the case for right now. But in the meantime, while we're watching these slow-mos, let's put our positive energy out there to her and just hope that everything's okay.
And you know, she's only 15, but she has a mom here, she has a coach here, she has her friends here. The support network is enormous. Alirah, unfortunately, didn't improve her run.
Giving her a moment to catch her breath, and she is back on the feet, and everybody here at Unibet Stadium is just cheering her on and showing the love and support that she deserves going out there, because as Miss Corey Coffey said, what a trooper. Rax the Great, she took out like a champ. I have to agree, that was a really hard crash. Thankfully, she got up on her own accord. All right,
Absolutely.
We're keeping it going right now. Our next rider, Lara Lessmann from Germany.
She currently resides in Berlin, also known for a good street riding culture.
Yeah, Berlin, a very fun city.
I used to live in Berlin for 3 years.
Oh, I love hearing that. Learn a little fun fact about you as well. I know that our on-course MC, Andy Zeiss, you might know him from the Rebel Jam. He actually used to throw that contest in Berlin many years back. That's how he got his start on the international circuit, not only being an MC, but helping put on some of the best events in the world. So big shout out to Andy the Z-Man Zeiss. We're always blessed to have him here on the microphone. Looking for that spine, trying to find that landing with the no-hander. Yeah, no-footed can-can right there, kicking on top tube.
And Lara currently sits on 5th position, so let's see if she's going to improve her run and end up on a podium. But hey, looks like she's not going back at it, is she? Oh, there you go.
See some of that German love right there, showing the support, holding up that flag.
You know, Lara also told me that she's a bit tired because she's been on the road for a really long time and she just wants to go home, and you know, she's been just standing it for months and months.
Well, she's sending it with that can-can over the hip, taking that foot over that top tube, and right here, looking down to the can-can. 2-hit combo. Hard thing to do because when you do a turn down or a look back, however you want to kind of word it, you got to just switch your feet around with your pedals to get clearance on your legs. So the fact she was able to twist the body and tweak into it and then kick the can-can, a very unconventional combo. She's putting her hands up, but I got to give it to you. 6'7.70", sitting in 5th spot. One of the biggest contests in the world. Not too shabby, Lara Lessmann.
Absolutely, good job. Next one, Nikita, and you know what? I have a feeling that Nikita is going to improve her run because she is one tough girl and she is one of the top BMX riders in the world in the female category. So let's see how she goes.
The bronze medalist from the Tokyo 2020 Games, Nikita Ducarroz on course. Talk about another rider who's got the family support. Her mom has traveled with her to so many different contests over the year, and I actually had an opportunity to meet so many of her extended family who I know is watching on the chat right now. They're saying, go, Nikita, go. She airs that tabletop, coming back in over the bubble, looking for that landing, trying to keep her flow going.
And you know, Nikita is an awarded athlete. She's won 2 silver medals at BMX World Championships, and she was first at Simple Session in 2020. So she definitely has the hunger for it.
So she's gonna wave it off, but I'm gonna take this rest of the clock to just talk a little bit about some of my favorite tricks that Nikita does. She's known for her 540s. Such a difficult trick to do. You got to get that circle and a half. Let's see, maybe she, all right, I didn't know if maybe she was actually going to throw one out there for us. She was kind of looking at something, but not many riders can do a clean 540, and we've seen many a times at competitions throughout the years where she is super focused. But look at this, here is a 360. Wasn't able to get over past that landing fully, but I love the way that she was able to spot the landing over her shoulder and just find the smooth re-entry.
And you know, Nikita was also a bit under the weather when I spoke to her yesterday, and she also did hockey, so maybe that's the key. No hockey before the finals, right?
Yeah, we got Lynn Johnson cheering her on, saying, let's go, my love, Nikita. So here we go, 41 is gonna be her second score, 61.50 is going to be the one that sticks for Nikita.
And next up, we have the 15-year-old Miharu Ozawa from Japan, who's currently sitting on 2nd position, really breathing down the neck of Perris. Very excited to see how she does on the 2nd run.
All right, everybody around the world glued to your screens right now, because if one rider can potentially shake up that podium, it is our Japanese rider, wants to be in that top spot. Backflip, oh! Going for a double bar spin combination. Unfortunately, having a little bit too much juice.
Well, the medics are just over there. She gets all the support needed. And you know, this is not an easy course. It's really fast. The obstacles are really big. You know, Miharu is just 15, and she's super strong.
Let's put our collective energy out there. Hopefully she can stand up on her own and just catch a breath. Get some composure. So as we mentioned, one rider could have potentially shaken that up, sitting in 2nd place. As you can see, Miharu wanted higher than an 86. You hear the round of applause going off right now because she is standing up and walking off. What a warrior. You see
what a trooper.
You see her holding her tailbone right there. Came down really hard from that backflip double bar spin attempt. But that just goes to show you how focused she was on the contest. Said, hey, this is the finals. This is the chance that I have. I want to put all my chips on the poker table and push them into the middle of the felt. And she went for it. I got to give her credit. Unfortunately, the bike just got away from her. It looked like she was potentially going for a backflip double bar spin. Maybe we'll see a replay, maybe we won't, but you just saw that she had the hot hands tossing them around, and unfortunately, the bike just went.
And hey, we also see Alirah next to her, and looks like both of them are fine. You know, it is a tough course, but they are tough girls, so.
Yeah, and anyone at home who is watching, those box jumps here are enormous. It's not your traditional box jump. Well, one lone rider remains. She is representing Kink. She has been on top of the podium in 2023 at Sister Session. She is looking to up her score of a 64. The score to beat is currently held by Perris Benegas, which is an 86. So right now the question is, can Bethany Hedrick make it happen?
Bethany Hedrick is a 19-year-old BMX freestyle rider from Northern Kentucky, US.
Getting the crowd support, riding for Kink BMX. Her team manager, Jay Rowe, is cheering her on as she gets style up the step up, coming back from the gut face mural. Look at the speed right here. She's charging a little bit faster than she did her first run. Yes, coming in off that sub box. She slipped the pedal a little bit, but nothing too bad. Gets the clean bar spin, coming into our step up. Yes, tail whip a lot cleaner this time around. So if a rider does something and is able to polish it a little bit more, usually that translates to a higher score. Bethany right now coming back at us over the box jump, toboggan, proper, turning the handlebars 90 degrees, getting a nice nosedive. Looking for that hip. She's got 14 seconds. These are very important moments right here. Yes! Getting that 270 Smith stall, 180 over that spine, boom!
Nice.
And then some style points with that 180 slider right there. Getting it done. Big ups to Bethany Hedrick.
Bethany currently sits on 7th position, and the top 3 is a pretty tough crowd to beat, right?
Yeah, so what we're seeing right here is a very different style from Perris Benegas. She was a little bit more street focused, focused a little bit more on her grinds. You saw that Smith grind across. She had some style jumping in and jumping out, went up on top of that sub box, but we can't forget, Perris also utilized that sub box. She had the double tire ride. She also had a Smith grind, but she did not have that tail whip, and she definitely did not have the 180 over the spine. So we're seeing some different styles here, a little more street focus from Bethany, and that has been rewarded before. She got the top podium in 2023, and here's a look at that 180, so smooth, and she had a few extra seconds, and you know what? I'm gonna grandstand out here a little bit, and just throws a nice 180 with a slider out.
And with Bethany, that was the last run of the Sister Session for 2025.
But we're still waiting for our judges to give the last score to see if this is going to potentially shake up our podium, because it can be up to our last and final rider. There's a look at Perris Benegas, who is our leader, but our judges are going to have to figure out what that score is, and the question is, will it be enough? And it is not! It is not enough.
But we do have a top 3 girls for Sister Session 2025. And what a run, what a competition. Daryl, was so much fun to watch.
So it looks like Perris Benegas, we're seeing a shot of her and a big smile on her face with an 86 even, is going to be our 2025 Sister Session BMX Women Finalist Champion. Top honors, flying and floating through the park, bar spins to smooth X-ups, and a very stylish run.
And we have Avalis on the field with Perris, so let's see what Perris feels about her win.
I am with the winner, Perris Benegas. Congratulations, another one for the book. A few words about this victory.
Thank you. This is unreal. I had so much fun. It's my first time out here in Simple Session, definitely not my last. It was so fun to rip the course with all the girls. International Women's Day, and we're all out here pushing women's BMX together. I'm honored to be here, so thank you for having me.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
I mean, Daryl, you've been to global competitions all over the world. What is your take on this year's sister session?
I mean, 25 years of simple session, and now sister session, third time here. The women are representing big. Look at the course, it is enormous, and you can just see all the smoke coming off of it from our top leader, Perris Benegas, with that 86. She had speed, she had style, she boosted. She had big tricks like that bar spin to X. And I know this was part of her second run that didn't include her score, her winning run, but she had that quick wall ride on that sub box. She also utilized her pegs with the Smith and a feeble. Big run out of Perris, but the overall for our sister session is the camaraderie, the sisterhood, and also the progression of the sport. I can see everybody in the chat. We have legends of BMX, Rob Darden saying congratulations, Perris. We also have Adam Watkins saying that, oh, that score could have done it because it was so high out there, the competition. And my hat goes off to all of our female riders who are here in our final today.
Absolutely. And you know what? Tomorrow we're gonna have the BMX men's finals. So what do you think this year's level?
Yeah, I mean, we're actually just getting started out here. We also have our men's qualifying, which will be later today. We have our men's finals that are going to be taking place. So I hope that you'll stay glued to our YouTube channel throughout the course of the next 48 hours. But more importantly, book your tickets. Start planning. Come here to Estonia. You might have seen this event, and I know because I get to travel around the world and meet the BMX family, and everyone goes, I've always wanted to go to that contest. Is it as crazy as it seems? Is it fun? It's better.
It really is,
it's
right?
It's better. And it's open to you. And tickets are really cheap. The event ticket is so cheap. And then there's parties all over the city. There's friends that you'll meet. Everyone welcomes you here. I mean, listen, Tuli, all over town, you see advertisements for Simple Session.
Yeah, everyone knows it, yeah. And honestly, like, I'm maybe a bit biased. I've been doing Simple Sessions since 2008, and so have you. Like, you've been, what year did you join?
I think my first was 2011 was my first year. So yeah, we're going back a ways.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, it is. I've also been to several big comps around the world. Simple Session has such a special place in my heart as well. The vibe is just incredible. But you do have to come here to feel it. Live stream is one thing, but being here, feeling it all is a whole different vibe.
Yeah, and I mean, just to let you guys know, like when you're flying here, even when you're at customs at the airport, the agents will just say, you're here for Simple Session, right? And they could just tell, like everyone knows and they're excited about it. Maybe in your country or your city, you know, BMX or skateboarding's an afterthought, but the event organizers, Risto and Mario and our entire family and community here have worked so hard to make this be where it's welcoming for everybody, with things like our best Estonian rider, things like having the all the different skate parks around town. We had our best trick competition the other night where that's going to be featured, and then making a platform like we just saw Perris Benegas and some of her many highlights of her winning run out there, and giving that platform for riders to represent. So we want you to be here and join us at Simple Session 26.
But now we're gonna go to Andy because it's time to award those amazing girls for their incredible performance. So let's go to Andy. Andy's eyes.
All right, boys and girls, wonderful people of Tallinn, Estonia. Can I please get a big round of applause, please, for all the sisters smashing in at the Simple Session Finals. Well, there you have it. By the way, happy International Women's Day to all the wonderful female out there, all the mothers, the sisters, the daughters, the aunts, whatever, and certainly all our female riders here at Simple Session 2025. We wrapped ourselves a big, big final event, and how about it? I had the honor to call the shots here for the first BMX final for the sister session. But this is the desired podium. Not up to me. It's about all these wonderful ladies who will be climbing on top of these stairs. My first honor of today is welcome the best Estonian rider, and is the LHV Best Estonian Trick winner. Make some noise, none other than Liis Lokk. Come on top of here. Come on top of here. Best Estonian rider. She will get rewarded with that LHV credit card. And what a credit card that is. That looks like unlimited cash on that card. One more time, let's hear it for Liis Lokk. All right, next rider up. Think about this. This is our first time here in Simple Session. She went down last night in practice, cracked her frame. Overnight, had to build up a new frame, a new bike. Had to get used to it in 20 minutes of warm-up. Had a bit of bad luck in run number 1. Came back with a second run, came back swinging, and managed to grab herself a 3rd place. Please, grab yourself together, make some noise for the German rider, Lea Mueller! There you go, Kimmy. Congratulations, Lea Mueller, the colony rider, making everyone in Germany and all over the world very, very proud right now. We're going to continue to 2nd place. Keep that noise going. And it's also a first-timer here to Simple Session. The youngest rider, or 2 of the youngest, 1 out of 2 youngest rider out of Simple Session with only 15 years of age. And boy, oh boy, and girl, oh girl, what a bright future she has. Make some noise for Japan's Miharu Ozawa! Yeah, domo arigatou gozaimasu. Miharu Ozawa from Japan, climbing up that 2nd place ladder. And believe it or not, also the desired 1st place, the desired middle spot is another rider, a badass rider, and a Simple Session first-timer. Please welcome Perris Benegas! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your podium, your 2025 champion, Perris Benegas. 2nd place, Miharu Ozawa. 3rd place, Lea Mueller. Let me get some noise. The paparazzis are making sure to get those shots. You know it, BMX media is strong, social media is even stronger. Here we go. Yeah, let's climb up that ladder. Thank you very much. One more time, big maximum shout out to the sisters. We're gonna keep the party rolling. Everyone who just entered here, the Unibet Arena. We just wrapped up BMX Sister Session Finals, our first final of the weekend, and we're keeping the BMX party rolling. Men's Group 1 are warming up in the background. Men's Group 1 are warming up in the background. BMX Men's Qualification are about to kick off later this afternoon.